Hey everyone, recently we were invited out to the site in Illinois to attend something that was billed as a training. Our host, SecureIt, offered to show us something that was missing in our approach to secure gun storage. We'd like to take a moment to remind you that we are demonetized, so we'd appreciate it if you'd hit those like and subscribe buttons. In exchange, we'll provide you with this cringy gun meme. I've got to admit I was skeptical. I found myself questioning what training had to do with locking up my weapons, but the cadre of instructors was solid and my previous trip to the site was outstanding. So Johnny and I saddled up and headed east. When we got there, several other riders joined us, and the first event was a competition. The mission? Starting from a seated position, how quickly can you exit a room, turn down a hall, open a safe, and retrieve your weapon? The timer was deployed, and whether they admitted it or not, everyone's pulse elevated. Several folks put up some admirable times, and I began to see evidence of gaming and some folks downright cheating. It began to dawn on me what SecureIt was trying to communicate. Raise the stakes a little and see what happens. In a defensive scenario, the quickest response is, of course, having your weapon on your person. But let's say you are home, you're relaxed, and suddenly you need a weapon. In this scenario, you now have to get to a storage device, get it open, and retrieve your weapon for defensive purposes. Wouldn't you want every single advantage? Speaking of advantages, one of the tenets SecureIt promotes is decentralized storage. This means moving away from the giant safe down in the basement and having a few smaller options tucked away at key points in your home. I like this idea and I use it myself. I'm never far from a defensive option, and that's a good advantage to have. But SecureIt wanted to dive deeper and take that thinking a step further. Say you've got a few storage options deployed around the house and you're able to get to one quickly when someone kicks in the door. Does your training account for stress? The concept of muscle memory is a bit of a misnomer. What people are generally referring to with this phrase is neural mapping. When we take an action, a neural pathway is established. When we practice that action again and again, the brain wraps that pathway in myelin, reinforcing it. Myelin transforms that little pathway into a superhighway. The net result is that we can access and perform that action quicker and with more ease. This means that 1,000 repetitions of an action is a good start, but there are relevant complications. In the normal course of using a safe, you will get a lot of practice, but it isn't under stress. Acute stress affects the body in many ways. At 90 heartbeats per minute, we start to lose some fine motor skills. At 120, we begin to lose complex motor skills. At 150, we can experience cognitive decline, tunnel vision, auditory exclusion, and loss of depth perception. At 175 beats per minute, things get really bad. Fight, flight, or freeze kick in, and incontinence is always an option. So in the same home defense scenario we laid out earlier, what is your heart rate going to be if someone kicks in your door? How easy will it be to access that safe at 150 beats per minute? Hey, there's a full article on this subject over at pewpewtactical.com. You can find a link to it in the description below. Now, I get a beer for each one of you that goes over and checks it out, so do a brother a solid. SecureIt wanted us to train under stress, and so we did. We spent the first part of the session training with LMT rifles on the flat range, working drills that were designed to enable us to engage quickly. We next moved to a shoot house where we used sims in the same LMT rifles, running through home defense scenarios. One of these included a home invasion where someone had grabbed our wife. We started the drill on the first floor, ran upstairs, opened the SecureIt safe, retrieved our rifle, then moved through the house, clearing rooms until we found the target. let's just say it didn't go well for the bad guy. Finally, we proceeded to a live fire shoot house to implement everything we'd been taught. We worked several drills with different scenarios, but we always had to retrieve our weapon from a SecureIt device first. I have to admit, it's been a while since my last stress inoculation, and when you get ramped up, it can be a little tougher to run combinations, turn keys, or open doors. By the end of the training, I had a great appreciation for our instructors, Fred Masterson, Karen Hunter, Scott Hunter, and Joe Lidbury, who carefully directed us through a crawl, walk, run progression. And I found a newfound perspective on the challenges of getting to my home defense option under various forms of stress. SecureIt is putting its money where its mouth is. They've created a suite of training videos to walk you through the mindset and approach they used on us. We'll put the link below in the description. It won't be as immersive as being shot at with a gel gun, but the information is sound and can get you thinking about your current setup at home. Hey, thanks for watching. That's going to do it for us. We appreciate it if you'd hit that like and subscribe on your way out.